Namaste. I see the divine in you as you see the divine in me. And isn't this always the most beautiful way to greet each other? As I see the divine in you and you see the divine in me, we learn to see divine within each other and in ourselves. For here we are on a beautiful journey to grow into our beautiful self, our true authentic self. And our true authentic self is our loving self. And it's a very, very deep love within ourselves. And we have to reach deep within that, to grow deep within that, and to understand the power that is within us. And the more that we form that love union within us, the greater our power rises within us. And this time about the great alignment first within us and then within the great universes, and how Chiron is calling us to the divine pineal gland activations. This time is all about understanding that greater love force within us so that we can bring healing in our lives, and then healing to the rest of mankind, and then healing in the greatest universes. And this is why we are here on this planet Earth, to find our true authentic self. So I welcome you to these most beautiful teachings and these most beautiful ways of understanding our deeper selves and our deeper purpose. Before I close my eyes, I'm going to read out the forgiveness statement, because all things need to be forgiven. And I love being a great forgiver, and I'm learning to forgive greatly every day, more and more. Because the more I forgive, the more beautiful my life becomes. And I love having a beautiful life together with the Divine Masters. And so I always encourage everyone to forgive. And at the Divine Pineal Gland activations, everyone receives the power of greater forgiveness. And that means that greater healing can come into their lives, and greater abundance can come into their lives too. So the more that we learn to forgive, the greater we come into our greater authentic self. I release all my pain. I let it flow in the light. In the great light, my angels will always take my pain away. Each time I forgive, I allow myself to become stronger. I forgive all the hurt others have given me. And here I will also forgive all the pain I have caused myself. I let go of all that was, to bring in the greatness and the light. For my divine self will always take care of me. I embrace the light. I embrace the love. I embrace who I am. Namaste. Greetings, dear brothers and sisters, dear sons and daughters in the light. I am Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great. And what a beautiful blessing it always is for the sons and the daughters who come to the love and the light. What a beautiful blessing it is for those who desire to listen with an open heart and an open mind. For it is those who are the humble ones, those who desire to learn with an open heart and an open mind, have a great humility. And that humility is a treasure that must be understood, a treasure that must be released from within too, for it is held so deep within a human that doesn't know what humility is. And when you, as a beautiful human, understand the humility of a beautiful spiritual being, that one is released into greater power. And that greater power is within all of creation. It is within all the greatest creation of the highest archangels, and also of the ant, and the mountain, and the flower, and yes, the human, who is so beautiful in my eyes as the divine Lord. Do you know how beautiful the human is within, when that humility is found within, and that one begins to understand divine truth with an open heart, a loving heart, and an open mind? For then the light pathway opens within that one, and it is then that one is released to the greater love and the greater light. It is those ones who understand the way of truth and of life. For that one will find the great door of wisdom and of greater treasure. 2,000 years ago, when I, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the great Lord, the greatest Lord, stated to the people through my designated channel, Jesus, I stated, look, I am the great Father. I am the great Lord. I am the great Lord, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great. And I state to the people that I speak these words through my Son, Jesus. And he is here to speak to you, to speak the words of the great Lord. For he, my Son, Jesus, is my word. And it is the word I speak through. And it is the people who hear the great Lord, the Lord, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, being spoken through this one. It is the ones who are humble in the heart who hear the words. It is the ones who are open with a mind of greatness, who understand the words. It is the ones who do not listen, who do not have the humility within the heart, who do not have an open mind to the great teachings, that will not see the great truth being spoken. For they say, Look, Lord, Lord, whoever you say your name is, they do not recognize my being, so they cannot state the truth of my name, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great. So they stated 2,000 years ago. Look, Lord, do we not do this in your name? Do we not do that in your name? And it is those words that the people heard 2,000 years ago, and they still apply today at this time. For it is the one who has the true humility within the heart that recognizes the love from the great Lord, the Lord Emmanuel the Great, the Lord, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great. Why am I stating this to the people at this time? Because I desire you to remember who I am. You have been praying for my return, lifetime after lifetime. Lord, in the heavens, we call out to you. And many have stated, do we not do this in your name, Lord? Do we not go to the churches every week? Do we not recite our scriptures every week? Do I not go to confession every week? Do I not do this in your name? Do I not do that in your name? And I will state, but you never chose to truly listen within the heart. You chose to listen to the people who decided to be the leaders of the churches, who stated, I am listening to the Lord, and I state this in the name of the Lord, and I state that in the name of the Lord. And now I, as Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, say, please open your heart with love within you. Begin to listen to the greater voice being spoken. Begin to understand this truth with a humility within you. Release that humility within you. What does it mean to be humble? All through the ages, the true truth seekers were kept down by the leaders. They were always punished for living in their own heart. Look at how many people were tortured in the name of the Lord for not listening to the leaders. And I, as Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, state, those leaders brought so much fear in the great people who were so faithful to their own voice within them. So much fear was brought within them that they forgot to listen to the great heart within them. And lifetime after lifetime they began to pray for the greater truth to be revealed. Please, the Lord, return. Show us truth and show us love, for we have forgotten the ways of the old. We we do not know anymore how to put one foot in front of the other. Teach us. You taught us to pray for the great kingdom. We ask you to bring the great kingdom. Please teach us to heal those ones who stayed within their heart all through the ages, never lost their humility within. What does it mean to be a humble person? One that has a deep humility. It means that one is open to the higher teachings of love and chooses to go within on a very great level, refusing to listen to others. Yes, listening, but then able to go within and examine truth for self. And this is why being humble as a spiritual person is one of the greatest gifts that person has. But look at how much that word has been mistreated. Humility and being humble has been exposed, shown, treated as being weak in all the ages. When the woman folk, even in these days, were taught to be humble, serve the men, serve the people, that whole word was not treated in the greatest respect, but the people were taught to go into the sadness and the fear. And being humble did not mean to reach within and find truth, but to serve another. Being the humble slave, people learned that word so greatly from the leaders. I, as the great Lord, the divine Lord, the sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, say, being humble is not being weak, but being strong within. For the humble person who is a deep spiritual seeker is one who is passionate about finding truth and has an open heart and an open mind to go deeper within. And that one does not look at the great followings or the numbers, but that one has the courage to examine truth for self. These are the same teachings I brought through my designated channel, Jesus, 2,000 years ago. Do not look at the numbers of the people who follow certain leaders, whether something is truthful to you. Look within yourself. Find the treasures within yourself, for that is where you will find truth. Do not look at the leaders who claim their fringes are larger than another. For what do they know? Does truth live within them? Do they know the Father? Is the Father alive within them? Or do they make up their own rules and say, I am living with the great God. I am living with that one in the great heavens. I am working with that great one. But I, as the great sovereign Lord, state, I do not see them working with the work of the divine, for they torture the people, they stone the people, they make so many laws to burden the people. Look at what they have done in my name. Now I state these words 2,000 years later with my designated channel, not Jesus in this lifetime, but Suzanna Maria Emmanuel, who is my designated channel, and she is the most important channel for divine truth. And I state, look at what the leaders have done in only those years since the departure of Jesus when he left the earth. Look at how much has been claimed to be done in the name of the great divine. The torture of the people, the laws, the taxes, the killings that were so painful, all to keep the people in control, all to place fear within them, all in the name of the great Lord. Have we not done this in your name, Lord? Have we not done that in your name? Look at how many religions have been put into the world, all divided, all fighting against each other, all in the name of my being and of the name of Jesus, who was my designated channel, and like he stated always, but I am a mere man. I am a messenger of the great divine. People in those days wanted to say to Jesus, but do you make yourself to be king, do you not? You say that you are this, and you speak for the great Father that makes you more than us, said the leaders. And Jesus stated, I am a humble human man. I claim to be no more than you are. I am a man as you are also a man. You speak from your thoughts. I speak from my heart. But I am only a man. When I speak, when you hear the truth being spoken, when you hear the teachings from the great Father, they are not my words, they are the words from the great Father. I say I am not the great Father speaking, but the great Father speaks through me. And I am only a messenger of the great Father. In the same way, Suzanna Maria Emmanuel will state that she is a beautiful woman who lives in the heart, and it is not her words that are coming through as a human, but I, as sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, am speaking through her. It is the words from divine you are hearing. Jesus has been placed as a God in your world. He has been celebrated as a god, and yet he always stated, I am but a humble servant of the great divine. The churches need to certainly open their eyes, and the leaders need to open their eyes as to what they have done to the people in all the centuries. Look at what has happened. One war against another. Great revolutions broke out, all keeping the people into the fear, all keeping the people into the pain, because they were so afraid of the people finding their truth within, because they know how powerful the human being is when the human being understands divine truth. This is why they needed to make an example of Jesus in those days. In these days, however, my designated channel is so protected, and there is nothing that can happen to her as a beautiful channel. For now it is time when the great prophecies must be revealed. When Jesus stated, there will be a time when the people will come to the great healing rays of love, and they will feel the love rising within them. And it is at that time that the great kingdom of the great Lord will rise, and the people will wipe their tears away and say, look how happy we are, for we have found our true selves within us, and we are now in a place of beauty and of love. For all that has been prophesied has been coming true, and now all that has been placed upon the earth with a pain has now been released, because it has been released within us. We have truly come into the forgiveness power. I stayed as the great Lord, the great sovereign Lord, the great Lord Emmanuel the Great. It is time for the thousands and thousands and thousands of people to see the truth and the way of the freedom. It is only through that narrow gate of the divine pineal gland activations, of the great Chiron, that you can truly step into that great forgiveness power to release all pain upon your plane, to be able to bring the love to mankind, to be able to bring through those great prophecies that were prophesied so long ago. Look, the people will wake up, and they will understand the love and the light within them, and they will say, happy is the one who understands these truths, for the strength within us is arising. We are the ones bringing it to the earth. We are rising in our throngs and thrones, and we are happy that all of this has been revealed to us now. Great is the great Lord who has returned to us. Great is the great Son who has returned to us. The great Son here being not the great Son as was my great Son Jesus in those days, but the great Son consciousness. And yes, my channel, Suzanna Maria Emmanuel, is part of that great Son consciousness. Rise, people, into the love and the light. Awaken what is before you. Begin to heal all the pain within you. Begin to understand that you are here to become strong in your power. And then I, as the great Lord, will say, look, all the prophecies are coming true at this time, for the people are waking up to the fire within them. They are releasing their great gifts within them. They are awakening to them and are stepping into them. And they are stepping into a divine union within them. They are truly finding the treasure of humility, and they are humble. Greetings, I am Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great.